The Biden-Harris, through the Inflation Reduction Act, used American taxpayers' money to fund domestic terrorism on the U.S. soil. Hold on to your seats, folks, because the Biden-Harris administration might just have pulled off one of the most audacious political stunts in history. You won't believe where your hard-earned tax dollars are going. In the labyrinth of Washington politics, where promises and policies often intersect in unexpected ways, the Biden-Harris administration's Inflation Reduction Act is making waves for all the wrong reasons. Marketed as a solution to economic challenges and a leap toward sustainability, this act has now become the center of a scandal that could redefine political careers. The heart of this controversy? Allegations that the administration has used this act as a cover to funnel taxpayer money into the hands of radical extremist groups. Yes, you heard that right. A supposed economic relief bill allegedly funding activities that undermine American values. Introduced with the promise of combating inflation and spearheading a green revolution, the Inflation Reduction Act secured a whopping $3 billion under the guise of environmental initiatives. But as the layers are peeled back, it seems like this bill is less about saving the planet and more about saving face for the political elite. This act promised to tackle climate change and stimulate the economy.
Disastrous policies. President Biden's radical agenda has created an energy crisis that hurts every American. In the last 12 months, over a third of American households have sacrificed basic necessities so they could pay an energy bill.
And in our investigation, we found that a lot of this money that's going out really has little to do with the environment and a lot to do with funding groups that are basically engaged in what I characterize as anti-American activities. They're anti-American, anti-Semitic, anti-Israel, anti-police, and anti-border security.
These groups, allegedly tied to extremism, are receiving federal funding under the pretext of environmental stewardship. What does this say about the administration's priorities and its vetting process? Let's not forget the pivotal role of Vice President Kamala Harris. Her history is a tale woven with connections to far-left ideologies and questionable affiliations. Raised by parents deeply embedded in radical activism, Harris's political path has been paved with the support of individuals like Steve Phillips, a major player in left-wing politics. Harris isn't just a bystander. She's an active participant in this charade.
When we invest in climate, we create jobs, we lower costs, and we invest in family. A climate crisis.
And let's not forget President Joe Biden himself. With his administration's fingerprints all over this act, questions arise about his leadership and judgment. Is this the transparency and integrity he promised, or just another chapter in a legacy of political blunders? With over $200 million already funneled to these suspect groups, the lack of accountability is staggering. The EPA's shifting narrative,
environmental progress, and investments made so far under President Biden's leadership.
Imagine being told your money is going to save the environment, only to find out it's potentially funding domestic terrorism. It's like being sold a dream and waking up to a nightmare. Unsurprisingly, this scandal has sparked a media frenzy and public outrage. Social media platforms are ablaze with calls for accountability, with users across the spectrum questioning the administration's competence and intent. Critics argue that this debacle exemplifies a broader pattern of mismanagement, while supporters struggle.
I'm still going to vote. I just have to take a breath to understand what the plan is.
The divide is palpable, reflecting the deep fissures in American society today. The Biden-Harris administration isn't the first to face scrutiny over funding practices. History is littered with examples of government missteps, but this latest controversy highlights the urgent need for rigorous oversight and ethical governance. The lessons are clear. Unchecked power leads to unchecked actions. And when those actions threaten the very fabric of our democracy, it's time to demand change. As the nation braces for the 2024 election, the ramifications of this scandal are bound to echo through political campaigns and debates. Candidates will be forced to confront these allegations, and voters will need to weigh the consequences of inaction. The controversy surrounding the Inflation Reduction Act is a clarion call for accountability, transparency, and reform. It's a reminder that democracy thrives when the people hold power, not the politicians. This scandal isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about democracy itself. As the electorate prepares to head to the polls, the questions raised by this controversy must remain at the forefront of public discourse. America stands at a crossroads. Will we choose leaders who prioritize the people or those who prioritize their own agendas? The choice is ours, but we must be informed, engaged, and resolute.
Tomorrow, it's about delivering progress and prosperity to American families.
The Inflation Reduction Act was the largest investment in clean energy in the history of the world.
The Inflation Reduction Act is going to rapidly accelerate our pathway to net.
This isn't just a political scandal, it's a wake-up call. Let's hold our leaders accountable and ensure that our democracy remains strong, resilient, and true to its founding principles. As we wrap up this investigation, we invite you to share your thoughts and opinions. Do you believe the Biden-Harris administration has overstepped its bounds? How should we as citizens respond to these revelations? Join the conversation in the comments below. Stay informed, stay active, and let's work together to safeguard our democracy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis and updates on the issues that matter most.